Oh my gosh. No, we are not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Yes. Yes, we are. Yes, we are here. Y'all, this show has captured me. It's captured my heart. And y'all, these MFs in this show are so goddamn fine. And the show is it's just like fucked up, but in the right ways. And y'all, I don't know, I'm just so in love with this show. And I'm so excited to get to it. I am talking about KinnPorsche, baby. Yes. Like, WTF. I don't even know how I found this show, but when I tell y'all, it is right up my alley. And oh my gosh, y'all, Apple, and Jeff Satch, y'all, KinnPorsche, okay, it is full of action, drama, sex, music, scheming, lying gangsters, nasty drama, and I am so enamored with this show. I'm so freaking excited. Okay, so y'all, without further ado, let's get into it. Yes. Okay, this episode starts showing the luxury and extravagance surrounding Ken, one of the main characters. He have his bodyguards open the door for him in front of their nice big home. They have a bunch of nice vehicles that surely cost a lot of money. Ken is about to go to a meeting with this man named Mr. Don, who is an Italian business owner, and he's doing business deal on behalf of his father. Don asks for Mr. Korn, who is Ken's dad, but one of Ken's henchmen tell Don that Korn is in bad health, and Ken will be in charge of this meeting. And I will not go into their English in this show because my motto is, if you are trying, then it's good enough for me, baby, okay? It's obvious that this man knew Ken growing up because he says, "You're all grown up, and do you still like ice cream?" Kind of like he is lowboying Ken, if you ask me. Ken is like, nah. Then we switch over to Hum Bar where we meet my girl Yoke. She is a crowd favorite and just a whole vibe, like good vibes. I love people that just scream comfort, okay? And we also get to meet our other main character, the very sexy and smooth Porsche, baby. He is a sexy bartender currently serving the ladies. Yuck just brought in front of him to serve him drinks, basically. So that was a quick introduction. Then we shift back to Ken's deal, where he reveals to Don that the casino that they had invested in have aroused some people's greed, i.e. someone has been stealing money from him. Then we switch back to the Hum Bar, where Yoke is talking to young bartenders about how cool Porsche is and how you have to have it all just like him. And Porsche does have a lot, baby. Y'all, let me tell you, that man is wine fine. Y'all, if y'all haven't seen KinnPorsche, y'all need to go watch that show, okay? So the show cuts back to the meeting with Ken. And in that meeting, Don says that Ken is being very disrespectful, not like his father at all. And then Ken says, "I'm a little like my mom." And he shoots the man beside him dead. Very gangster. He didn't shoot Don, but he shot like the mediator man that was like sitting in between them. And to be honest, I actually love this opening scene, how it's edited between Ken and Porsche. It is very creative. And it shows their characters right off the bat. Porsche is very charming and smooth, and the ladies love him. He's like such a ladies' man. And Ken is very calculating and brutal. But back to the story. Gosh, okay. Ken's whole meeting with Don was just a giant warning to Don. Basically, if you fuck over me again, you will die. And then Porsche he's just taking his shots, and then Ken and Don toast to their future deals, and it's just like it's a really beautifully done opening scene. It really catches your attention. But all is not well as Ken's men realize that he is being followed by some bad guys. They have to get him to safety. Meanwhile, Porsche's fucking some girl in the club, as everyone in the world should be doing. I'm just saying. So there's this whole shootout between Ken and his man, who we will soon come to learn is big. And they're involved in it and are surrounded by all these bad guys from Don. Big gets shot in the arm, and Big tells Ken to run, so Ken takes off, but he is soon surrounded. And he ends up in a building, i.e. the Hum Lounge, where Porsche is taking a smoke break and asks for Porsche's help. Now, Porsche may be smooth, but he's also a little savage. Porsche says he wants $50K after all of this is over. And he is just so charmingly smiling the whole time he's saying it. It's like he's not about to put himself in danger. But before he even helps Ken, he turns and decides to take a piss while the men start going after Ken. Ken is like, oh, what the fuck? But Porsche takes the piss bottle and he smashes it on one of the men's head. He told the bad guy, I told you I need a minute. Oh my gosh, he is so freaking smooth, y'all. And that bottle was just so nasty. That was nasty work, okay? So, Porsche ends up helping Ken like he said he would. They escape on a motorbike and end up at a gas station. Ken was like, thanks. He kind of looked like he wanted to chat a little bit with Porsche, but Porsche was like, run me my money. Yes. Y'all. And Ken, yeah, you need to pay him, baby. He said he ain't help you for free. We don't fight and fuck around here for free, baby, okay? Ken was like, I don't have my phone. I'll pay you later. No bueno. Porsche was like, you really think I'm stupid? So Porsche took Ken's watch, a very expensive watch too. When Ken asked what's his name, Porsche lied and left with the motorbike. When I tell y'all that sucker is so smooth, y'all, Porsche, that is sexy, baby, okay? And he definitely left a lasting impression on Ken. Ken doesn't know how to feel and shit. He's starting off early, falling in love, okay? Porsche got home and saw his uncle had been beaten up. And pause. Now, I know when I used to see a large Q-tip in a Thai BL, that means that they are lovers. The one being taken care of and the one like doing the caring, with the Q-tip and rubbing it on their little face or their arm or their wound or whatever. But this one is a little bit different. Porsche was taking care of his uncle who had just got beat up by some debt collectors. Now, who's Porsche? Porsche is Porsche's younger brother that Porsche has to take care of. And Porsche is trying to make money to put his brother through school. And, y'all, that is such a noble man who just loves his little family. And that's his only family, like his brother and his uncle, okay? You could tell Porsche, he kind of feels a little bit guilty about it, but more on that later. They may lose the house that they live in, but Porsche remembers that he had the watch that he took from Ken, and the two of them, him and his uncle, decide to pawn it off. Porsche said that he'll find the rest of the money somewhere. So Porsche decides to do some street fighting, and he wins the match. Y'all, he is such a hustler. Even if it's not the cleanest way to make money, at least it's not totally immoral. Like, people consent to the fighting. So anyway, when he got home, his uncle told him that the watch was worth more than they had initially thought. And then they began to celebrate. And I love this cute, intimate family unit. It is so cozy to me. And their backyard is like really cute as well. Their little slice of the world, I guess. Now, in the next scene, we meet Korn, Ken's father, and he is the leader of this whole gangsta operation. He heard what happened that night and told Ken that he was too hot-tempered. Meanwhile, he's looking for Porsche. But remember, Porsche gave him a false name. Ken was really struck by Porsche that night. And he was struck by more than just Porsche's skills, baby. So when Porsche gets to work that night, he realizes that something is a bit off. So like a good big brother he is, he calls Porsche to make sure that he is okay. But when Porsche goes inside his job at the Hum Bar, Ken and his men are waiting for him. And Yoke is flirting with Ken, and she ends up telling Ken Porsche's real name. Like, at this point, Porsche knows he is fucked up and that Kim and his men are coming to kick his ass, basically. Like, he already surrendered to his fate, okay? So Ken tells Porsche, make me a drink. I won't do anything to you. But of course, Ken's demeanor is like, for now. So Porsche, he gives him a drink and is like, what do you really want? Ken is like, come talk to me. Porsche is like, no. Ken is like, well, it could get really messy in this bar. And Porsche loves the bar. He loves Yoke. So he follows Ken out. But Ken's boys put a bag over Porsche's head and drags him out of the club fighting, y'all. So the next scene is Porsche tied to a chair, looking sexy as ever. And y'all, oof, the things I would do to that man tied up to that chair. With consent, of course, baby. Then we see Ken walk in reading all of Porsche's car facts, basically, i.e. his life story. So Ken is basically showing Porsche that he knows all about Porsche. And then when Ken pauses, Porsche's like, are you done? Let me go. But Ken is like, be my bodyguard. He must have found something he likes in Porsche, as do most people in this show. Y'all, that's something that's so addicting about this man. Porsche's like, fuck no. And Ken is like, you can make a lot of money for your brother and your family with this job. Porsche proceeds to spit in Ken's face. Y'all, that's nasty. Then Porsche breaks free and the bodyguards were about to protect Ken, but Ken said, no, I want a one-on-one fight with this boy. And then we see Ken proceed to whoop Porsche's ass until Porsche started to fight dirty by kicking Ken in the balls. But Porsche better be careful because he gonna be juggling them balls later. Anyway, and he kicks him in the balls and he bites Ken in the neck. Porsche then escaped onto the deck of the boat and Ken pulls a gun out to try to force Porsche to be his bodyguard. Porsche was like, I'd rather die, and he jumps off the side of the boat. Y'all, this man he is not serious at all, okay? At the same time, I do understand his animosity towards this man, because, like, how you gonna tell me what I'm about to do? All that to say, I love Porsche's personality, y'all. He is truly hilarious to me, okay? And this is just the first episode. He said, kill me, but first you gotta catch me, baby. So later, Ken was pissy when he got home to his dad. He was like, a guy like him wouldn't just come and work for his dad. And his dad was like, isn't that an interesting person, though? A guy who won't just come just for the money? You may need someone like that on your side that won't get purchased by the other gangs. I'm telling you, it's that gangsta life. So when Porsche gets home, he is yelling for Porsche to pack up his bags. But when he gets to the house, he finds that it's in disarray. And Porsche was cleaning up. Porsche was like, who did this? Was it Ken? Porsche was like, Ken who? Turns out it was one of his uncle's debtors who had came to collect. And then Porsche, he went out to go look for his uncle. When he found him, the debtor said that the uncle never used the money to pay off the debts, but instead he gambled it away. Now let me tell y'all, I would have been pissed and let these guys kick my uncle ass, okay? But good-hearted Porsche said he'll pay the money for his uncle's. Oh, bullshit. Uncle would have had to pay his own debt, okay? Porsche put his uncle out of the house, though, thankfully. At least he did some kind of retaliation against his uncle. You can't keep letting him live there if he keeps messing with your money. Let me tell you, a gambler is a gambler, and they are no good with money, no responsibility. So I'm just saying, it's one of the vices. So we all know what that means. Porsche needs some money, and guess who he thinks of? Ken. Porsche had to go work for Ken. I honestly would have just grabbed my baby brother and just skipped town to start a life anew. That was actually what Porsche wanted. That was Porsche's idea. And he was like, we can just move and live somewhere else, man. Like, just forget all of this. Porsche is thinking like me in this aspect. He is a baby after my own heart. Porsche was like, that's your school money, what's left. Porsche was like, let me help you work. You can tell he kind of feels a bit guilty for having Porsche take care of him. This is what I mentioned earlier in the video. Porsche was like, I want you to have a degree and a good life. Boy, fuck all that. I would have skipped town and been an island gal. And Porsche is begging to be an island gal himself. He's like, please, Porsche, let's rent out a small house with me and we can go anywhere but here. And you can just open a beach bar and I can be the entertainment. Then Porsche was like, yeah, no, you'll scare the customers away if you are the entertainment. Yeah, these two are like, oh, they're such siblings and they really, really love each other and care for each other because, like, that's all they have is each other, you know? Especially now since they kicked the uncle out of the house. So the next morning we see Porsche's note where he lies to Porsche telling him that he has to go away to take care of a beach bar on a private island for a friend who cleared their debt for them. He paints it as a dreamy place, but in the back of my mind, and probably in the back of Porsche's mind too, based on his demeanor and the look he's kind of giving, I don't know if Porsche believes it either. I think he knows his brother all too well. Also, How could you, my one and my only family member, just leave me alone by myself? Like, take me with you. I mean, of course, we don't want Porsche in the place where Porsche's going, but like, don't leave me. Let's just go to the island. But he's a big boy, so he can fend for himself for a little while. So Porsche's at Kinn's fine establishment, and Kinn is just giddy. He's like, your life is mine now, Porsche. And to be honest, I hate that. Like, my life is my own. I hate any type of talk about my life belongs to someone else. Like, that is dead to me. And Porsche believes that as well. He's like, no, like, my life is my own. Then Korn wants to see Porsche, and he is so pleasant to him. I wonder why. And he told Porsche, I hope you'd love to be here and be happy. Why did Korn want Porsche there? Porsche's like, what the hell is happiness? Korn laughs, and he says he'll take care of Porsche. Porsche said, if I'm working here, I'm in charge of Big and that other dude. And Korn actually allows it. Interesting. I was surprised. And apparently Kinn was like, what? He was surprised too. Like, why you put him in charge of people he just got here? Then, after all the boys left, we see Korn playing chess with one of his men. And he said, now all the pieces are complete. Let's start. And he's not talking about the game of chess. He wanted Porsche there and control of Porsche for a reason. And one could only imagine what that reason is.